everyone and welcome to my first video. While the F1 2020 multiplayer remains in an unacceptable state and quite frankly makes Codemasters look like a laughingstock.
Holy Jesus!
No!
Savior.
Codemasters! There's an element of the game which has increased in quality each year, and that is the physics. That is why the part I enjoy most about this game is playing with the physics and making setups. You could even say I'm a little obsessed with it. Yeah. Yeah. So today, let's explore the physics together. The goal of this guide is to teach you how to set up your car. However, if you just want to have setups, you can subscribe to my Twitch channel or become a patron, which will give you access to all my setups and strategies. You can find all the necessary info in the description below. Let us start by talking about aerodynamics. First, I want to address a common misconception. The wings are there to set up the balance of your car.
Sources which verify that he was for the invasion of Iraq.
Wrong.
The wings are not there to balance your car. Rather, you need to find your optimal wings for each track and then adjust the rest of the setup to make the balance work for you. These are the settings that affect the aerodynamics in F1 2020. The wings.
Well, duh.
But seriously, if you have no idea what wings do, basically the higher the wing angle, the more grip you have, but the less straight line speed you have. The rear suspension, because if you have a relatively soft rear suspension, the air pressure on the rear wing during high speeds will push the rear down, which reduces the drag and increases straight line speed. The ride height. By the same principle, you can raise the front of your car and decrease the rear ride height to reduce the drag and increase straight line speed. In doing the inverse, increasing the rear ride height while lowering the front, you increase the overall downforce of your car while sacrificing some straight line speed. I will explain this in more detail in a later video about the suspension. Subscribe to not miss it. Tire pressures. Higher pressures will increase your straight line speed minimally. However, I would advise against using tire pressures as an aerodynamic tool, since they are way too important in other respects. Now, how much downforce is right for you? This depends on your driving style and your priorities. If you have a very aggressive driving style, then high downforce is for you, while drivers with a more controlled approach will probably feel better with less downforce. Also, in qualifying 5-lap and 25% races, high wing setups will give you the most value, while low wing setups with their easier fuel and ERS management will give you a lot of value in 50% and 100% races. Let's go through this with an example. 50% Austria, which is very interesting in this regard. 7 rear wing. Great traction, which will give you great qualifying pace. However, you will have to start with a lot of fuel and you can drain your ERS really fast during the race if you are not careful with it. 6 rear wing. Still great pace in qualifying, but will be a little easier on your ERS and fuel during the race. 5 rear wing. Here your qualifying pace will start to suffer. However, you will have a nice mix of traction and fuel and ERS usage, which makes it my preferred wing. 4 rear wing, really hard in qualifying, but will give you incredible straight line speed and very low ERS and fuel usage. On top of that, you can reduce the rear suspension to make up for some of the missing rear grip in corners, which will increase your straight line speed even further. However, you will struggle for traction on worn tires a lot. The front wing is equally as interesting. You can drive a fast qualifying lap with anything from 2 to 5 front wing. However, in the race you want 1 to 2 front wing to reduce fuel and ERS usage. Also, the rear tires tend to wear more at Austria, So you want some amount of understeer on your race setup on fresh tires, which will lead to a balanced car as the rear tires wear off. Now that you know all that, how do we bring the wings together? Since the recent update, the off-throttle differential is no longer part of Parc Fermé, which helps us out a lot in this case. Let's say you use 1.5 wings with 50 on throttle and 53 off throttle differential. Then you can run 4.5 wings in qualifying paired with 57 on throttle and off throttle differential, which will give you a fairly balanced car which is a bit faster on 1 lap pace. I will explain the differential and more in more detail in my next video. So if you don't want to miss it, hit the subscribe button and the bell. Thank you so much for watching. Tell me how you liked my first video in the comments, or if you have any questions, feel free to join my Discord and ask away. Thank you again and bye!